in August was the original timeframe of this year. So when do you expect Chinook to open or be providing power in the grid?
At the current time, we're expecting late October, first part of November, as what we call our commercial date. We have the machinery is operating down there today, and it's going through its traditional startup and commissioning tests. As a matter of fact, tomorrow, members of our board and some members of the executive will be touring the Chinook plant in its commissioning state today.
Okay, if there are other tours available, let me know. It'd be interesting to see that. There was a lawsuit with Burns and McDonnell and SAS Power and a subcontractor. Can you advise the committee what the update is on the lawsuit?
At the present time, we understand that Burns and Mac has been working with its contractors and subcontractors with respect to an issue that developed on site where there was essentially a dispute that had to be resolved. The situation on site was corrected, but there's outstanding money owing to the subcontractors on site. It's my understanding that Burns and McDonnell are working to try to arrange payment for most, if not all, of those subcontractors, and that process is ongoing today.
And the SNC-Lavalin lawsuit, I believe was in arbitration last we spoke. Is that arbitration complete, or has there been a resolution? No.
The arbitration process is complete. We're waiting for the final recommendations from the arbitration panel.
All right. And back to the fire. I think it was in the MCC room. Mm-hmm. What does that stand for?
It's called Master Control Cabinets.
Master Control Cabinet. Yeah. It was a very, very big fire, I guess, or an expensive one. Was that cost, does SAS Power have to pay for that, the cost of that, or is that covered by insurance?
That cost of that fire is borne by Burns and Mac. Essentially, they own the project until it gets handed over to SAS Power.
And further to the fire, I understand there was a diesel spill in relation to providing diesel energy while the fire was being repaired. Is that cleaned up now to your satisfaction?
Okay, yes, there was a diesel holding tank on site that apparently had developed a leak. That diesel has been cleaned up and the area has been mitigated to the satisfaction of the Ministry of Environment.
Okay. Yeah, I think it was 17,000 liters of diesel. Was that the figure? Yeah.
I don't recall the exact number. You could be correct.
Okay. I'm just wondering, there's been issues raised by the trades here in Saskatchewan about the number of out-of-province workers that are working on that project. Do you have any numbers in terms of how many workers live in Saskatchewan working on the project and how many paying income tax here, as opposed to how many workers are living outside of Saskatchewan and paying their income taxes in another jurisdiction?
I certainly don't have that information today. My only comment on that observation is that during the major construction of a power station or even the overhaul of an existing power station, workers